What's happening, film friends? David the Film Junkie here, bringing you a film review of 300 Rise of an Empire. And 300 Rise of an Empire is a prequel, another angle, and a sequel. Yeah, it's kind of weird. The story actually takes place before the 300 story, and then it takes place during the 300 story, and then it takes place after the 300 story. Which is actually kind of cool because they reference it and they actually kind of show clips from the original 300 movie. So you're kind of like, oh yeah, I remember that. It's Gerard Butler. Remember when we didn't know who he was and now we know who he is? Pretty interesting stuff, but this time around, yes, we see the Greeks. We see Rome. We see their warriors this time, and this time they're taking on, I don't even know their names. Yeah, I should have looked them up. I mean, I heard their names and stuff, but I can't remember their names. But you got the main dude who leads the Greek army, Xerxes. Then you got Eva Green, who you actually get more of a backstory, even though it's kind of weird because this sequel, prequel, whatever the hell, it's actually supposed to be based off Frank Miller's Xerxes, which is the fucking big, tall, bald dude that, you know, has very, very intense painted on eyebrows. It's supposed to be like more about him, but you don't really get that much of him. You get more of Eva Green, you get a lot of her backstory and everything. So yeah, that was kind of cool because she is fucking hot. So anyways, you know the whole story, you know, battle, blood, stab, slow motion, and slow motion. What did I think of 300 Rise of the Empire? It's a good time. It's a good time. You know, if you're a fan of the first one, the original 300, you're going to like this one. It's not as good by all means, no, but it still keeps that same tone. I mean, you know what's funny is, and I agree with some of the other YouTube reviewers out there too who have like reviewed this film already. 300 is actually what started that whole slow motion, you know, everything. It's like, yeah. I don't know why I'm even doing that right now. That's weird. But it actually started that genre when it came to these kind of movies, and it's kind of been played out like a motherfucker. But so you gotta accept it as it is. So no matter what, I mean, Zack Snyder started that kind of filming. I mean, that was like revolutionary filming, and that's what's funny. It's like, I guess it's something about Zack Snyder that I should say right now, but I think I'll save it for the Film Junkie tomorrow. It has something to do with Batman vs. Superman and how he should approach it, and how he technically has approached it with those three superheroes. Anyways, so you got 300 Rise of an Empire. Yes, you got, what's it? I don't even know, the Thorax. Whatever the main guy is, he's not as strong as a character as Leonidas, as Gerard Butler, not by all means. I mean, it's almost like this was the B Squad, because you know, you got like the 300 guys who are just like badasses, pure badasses who don't give a fuck. Then you got these Greek guys who are like, yeah, we're badasses, but we also have compassion. We hate it. We hate it when people die. We hate this stuff. I mean, they're kind of like the B Squad. They are, but they're still badass. And like I said, the main guy wasn't really, you know, that strong of a leader, you know, and he always had this look on his face like he just shit his loincloth. Which is not necessarily a bad thing because it made him seem more real, you know, because let's face it, this is not really exactly a real world. It's supposed to be based on what actually happened with like Spartan warriors and everything like that, but of course it's graphic novel, Frank Miller and all that stuff. But Eva Green, man, God, that girl's hot. Jesus. I mean, she plays a pretty good villain. Sometimes it can be a little over the top with the stuff that she says, but you really get more of a backstory of her character and you see why she's such a bitch, you know? She's a cunt, really. See you next Tuesday. Oh my God, is she just, those eyes, man. It's those eyes. So sexy. She's very sexy. And guys, you see her boobies, just to let you know. So overall, I enjoyed the movie. There was a few times where I was like, and for some reason the director, I'm glad I didn't see this in 3D because the director really wanted to make it apparent that there was dust and shit floating in the air. My God. If you watch the movie, you can see little particles, little freaking pathogens just like floating around all the time. And I was like, why are you so obsessed with dust? It was a little weird, and then of course the blood might have been a little too much too. I mean, it looks fake as shit, of course it does. I mean, but there's some really cool scenes. Like there was one scene towards the end, he kind of did that whole one shot thing, which is actually pretty cool. And there was like another scene too with the boats in oil. Yeah, oil was part of it. It was kind of random, but it actually really works. I mean, like I said, if you were a fan of the first one, you'll enjoy this one. It keeps the same tone. It's not nearly as good, of course. I mean, not nearly, but it holds its own, I guess. But the characters aren't as strong. But Eva Green was, you know, I was digging her just because I couldn't stop staring at her eyes. Man. Seductive. Do I recommend seeing it? If you're a fan of the first one, do it. Go see it. Go have a good time. Even see it in 3D if you want. You know, it's not something you have to rush to go see. It wasn't like mesmerizing. The first one was like, whoa, what's going on? This is totally wicked. Do people still use Wicked? Well, I just did. Anyways, let me know if you guys saw it down below in the balls area and what you thought of it. Yeah, just let's talk about that. Also, hit that like, thumbs up button if you'd be so kind. Subscribe to my channel if you have not already. And visit filmjunkie.com for your latest movie news, movie trailers, and of course, these film reviews. Do it. Alright guys, I'm David, the Film Junkie, and I brought you a film review of 300, Rise of an Empire. Yeah, guys. See what happens when I get a job? I come out of the confines of my home, and look what happens. Something's getting sick, but you know what's actually funny? It's probably due to my brother, because he's had a cough for like 5 years. It seems like that, at least. And it finally got to me, I think. But I'm just drinking water, vitamin C. I'm trying to flush it out of me. Flush it out of my system. And orange wheat beer is good too, right? It's vitamin C. Okay, bye.